welcome back to day 5 of our Stitch With Me a Christmas Flossmas Vlogmas, whatever you want to call it, opening of advent calendar. Yeah, we are at day 5. I cannot believe we are already at day 5. If you've just joined us, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up as well. If you're a returning subscriber, returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me again. I hope that you're enjoying my Flossmas this year. And I'm also doing a sewing tutorial and also my Flosstube, and doing an opening on each of those, because I know that last year a lot of people were a little bit disappointed that they didn't get to have the tutorial, so I've incorporated it into that as well. So as I said, we are up to day 5. We're working on Holiday Quaker. I'll be stitching on this, and we're still working the reindeers. I don't really work on it after I've filmed the video. I just sort of leave it alone, and then I come back to it the next day or a couple of days later, depending on where it's falling, and then I just continue on from there. So I'm hoping that we're going to get the reindeer done and the moon done by the end of the coming week, and then we can move on to something else. All right, so now that I've got that all out of the way, this is where I'm up to. As I said, I have loaded up my my needle, and it is floating around here somewhere hanging down below, and we're still working on the reindeer. I am getting as many books as I can get read between each video. Obviously, I'm not always going to have that happen, but yeah, I'll just talk about whatever I have read on that particular day. I'm thinking that for the Sunday Stitch With Me, which is what today is, I'm probably just going to chit chat and just waffle on with what I've been up to and all the rest of it. Maybe talk about a book. We'll see how we go. Now, I'm only sort of hanging around for about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the video. But we are going to unwrap number 5. See how it's all beautifully wrapped. Now, this box, Advent box, actually came from the Book Grocer. I did have a couple of questions. I thought I did mention it, but I mustn't have. It came from the Book Grocer. I got it back at the beginning of November, end of October, around the same time that I did the unboxings for the other boxes that I got. And basically, this one wasn't to be opened until the 1st of December, and that's when I've started opening. They all come individually wrapped. I believe it was a mystery. I couldn't find any more information about it, but I don't think you got to choose whether. I cannot remember for the life of me, and I couldn't choose with Savannah. It was just a literary one, like a fiction one. So basically, yeah, it is just whatever you get. It's a surprise, it's a mystery, and I'll be reading these books next year and talking about them. And I've got a couple of other boxes as well. So number 5 is now open. It is called She's Come Undone by Wally Lamb. It's a #1 bestseller on the New York Times. When was this published? Let me just have a look. I haven't said when the previous books were published, so I better start doing that. This book is an older book. It was first published by Square Press in 1992. And then the second edition, this edition that I've got here is by, who's this by? Yeah, 1992 it was first published. It also says this edition published by Scribner in 1999. So an imprint of Simon and I'm not really sure what that name is, UK Limited. So basically it was first published in 1992. So it's an older book, which I'm not adverse to reading an older book. So I'll just have a little bit of a look. It has got, how many pages does it have? It has 29 chapters in it. The chapters are obviously lengthy because it has 465 pages in it, and then it's got a little bit of a blurb at the back of the book about the author, which I'm not going to get into because it's not a little, it's quite a number of pages. Epic, the reader is plunged into the mind of Dolores, who is one of the most honest and therefore likable characters you're ever likely to encounter on the page. That's by Time Out. That's just a little blurb on the back. And the book is so it's an New York Times says that an ambitious, often stirring and hilarious book. Ooh, I'm up for a good laugh. Okay, meet Dolores Price. She is 13, wise mouth but wounded. So trapped in front of her bedroom TV, she spends the next few years nourishing herself with chocolate, crisps and Pepsi. Her anxious mother supplies her. When she finally heads into young womanhood, life seems to be no kinder, but this time she is determined to rise to the occasion and fight. In his extraordinarily highly acclaimed coming-of-age odyssey, Wally Lamb invites us to hitch an incredible ride on a journey of love, pain, renewal with one of the most heartbreakingly comical heroines ever created. At once a fragile girl and a hard-edged cynic, so tough to love yet so the words, so lovable, Dolores is poignantly real as our own imperfections. Sounds like a good book. I'm up for a good laugh. Let me just open it up somewhere. Let's have a look. The writing's a good size too. Like sometimes you get books and you know they can be like the writing can be a little bit small, and I don't like real stark paper either. So I like this sort of it's not too hard on the eyes. So she's come undone. It looks like an interesting read. I don't know when I'm going to get to that one, but yeah, and it's about a 13-year-old girl. All right, wise mouth and wounded. All right, so let's get on with some stitching. I'll set that aside in the rest of the pile. Okay, so I record my my Saturday and Sunday Stitch With Me. I record that on Friday afternoon or early Saturday morning. It just depends how busy I am. But I recorded late Friday afternoon, and as you've seen with the number 4, I had to re-record it. So I've had to do that again with number 5 as well. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It's just because I opened them side by side in the same filming, and then I just edited it together. So basically, I don't know what happened. But anyway, I'm going to do number 5 again. I've lost the little number off the front, but this is number 5. As I said, I have opened it. And you know what, Christy? I think you are right. I think that this is for junk journaling, because today... get the sticky tape out of the way. We have got a ton of ribbon. Now, this is great because I use ribbon for all sorts of things. Oh gosh, they're going everywhere. So I use ribbon for all sorts of things, for my cross stitch finishing, to tie bows, to just hang off, to have it as a little decoration and stuff like that. So you can never have enough ribbon. So we've got some that have got, oh, they're just going to slide everywhere. So I might just pull them off and we'll bring them up. So we've got some thinner ribbons that you know, in brown, and I never buy brown ribbon, and sometimes you just need it. We've got some organza ribbon, then we've got some gold trim ribbon, we've got some with little hearts on it in pink, then we've got a purple ribbon that has silver hearts on it. That is cute. That'd be cute just across the top of a page, like a Valentine's page or something like that. We've got one with roses, which is a little bit thicker, about 1 inch. So it's like, I don't know if you can see that very well on camera. And then we've got some polka dot ones. We've got another one with hearts. Polka dot. Ooh, I like this rainbow organza one. That's pretty. So these will be good for like sticking in the journal. So we've got another one with some hearts on it. So like a peachy colour, tan colour. Some more organza. These will be really good for oh, purple heart one, some thin ribbon in purple, and then we've just got oh, this one's cute too. It's got hearts on it, another organza one. So they are going to come in handy for cross stitch finishing. We've got some orange ribbon as well. You know, just little things that I can do with them. Just stick them in, use them as on the top of bookmarks and all that sort of stuff. So I always keep all my little ribbons that I get from a lot of different parcels and that come wrapped with ribbons and stuff. So that is going to be very handy indeed. So I'll just pop them. They're very unruly, so I'll just pop them back in the in there. And I've had a couple of people ask me how many books I'm going to read for next year's challenge, 2022. So for those that don't know, which most of you probably already do I listen to audio books. I also read physical books, obviously, and I also do Kindle books as well. Now, this coming year, I am not setting my target for 100. I am still going to try and get 2 books a week read. I do have a couple of series that are on Audible that I'll be reading, and I have about 20 or so books on my Audible still to read. So they're ones that I've got over the last couple of years. Excuse me while I just grab a glass of water. Excuse me. So yeah, so I've got about 23, I think I counted. So they are already on my Audible. Okay, some of them include the Outlander series. I have a Curse So Dark and Lonely series, a Curse Breakers one. There's another 2 books on there. But I see I may get them read this year yet. So my Outlander books I'm not reading until next year, so I definitely have those, and I've only read the first 2 of those. So I've still got quite a number of those to read. Of course, I'll still have some Jessie Hunt ones to read as well, which I have them on audio as well. I believe there's 19. And I'm up to 9 or 10. I can't remember what I'm up to now, but I still have quite a chunk of those to read. I'm hoping to get through a few more of them before the end of the year. We're still in the beginning of December, so we're only at the 5th of December, so I've still got quite a number of days to go for a lot of the books. And of course, I'm also going to have some free books that you get each month for your subscription through Audible. So and that's one a month I get for that. So I pay my subscription and I get 1 book a month free. And then I've also got the premium catalog that has a lot of the classics and everything in there for free as well. So I'm going to be doing all of those as well, because I've only just started doing the classics. And so that is going to be my audio side of thing. And as you know, I ordered a few of the Book Grocer book boxes, so I have those to get through as well. So I definitely want to read 1 physical book a week, definitely one a week. Hopefully, if it's only a short story, I might be able to get 2 out a week. I'm going to have a few bingos as well, so it's going to incorporate some of the books that I've got that are physical as well, so that'll be my physical books. And then I've also got a ton on Kindle as well, so I've got a couple of series on Kindle that are also that are ongoing as well. So and some of those books are the Adele Sharp one by Blake Pierce, and that they are psychological thrillers. It is Sunday, and so I'm very tired after this week because I've done a lot of sewing and a lot of filming and a lot of editing and all the rest of it. So my words are not forming very well for me today. So yeah, so I am setting my goal at 80 books, but just with what I have, so I have the 12 that I will get for free next year, so January through December on Audible. Then I have the 23 that I already have, so that's what, 25, that's 35 there. And then I've also got some of my Jessie Hunt series to finish, and also the Adele Sharp, and I think that pushes me up to around the 55 mark for the Audible side of things, so the audio books. Not to mention anything else that I may come across as well. And as I said, I've only got a 23, I think I've got. And then I've got the classics as well, which are going to be on audio, which possibly will take me, I want to get at least 12 of them done. I want to do at least 1 classic a month. So that's going to take me up to around the 55, 60 mark, I reckon, for audiobooks. And then I've got all the books that I got that I'm going to get. Well, there's going to be 24 from this box, and then I've got another 3 boxes which have different genres. So I've got a crime and fiction, a literary one, and then a romance one. And so, and then I've got 4, and then a young adult. So the young adult one, that's going to be a bit hit and miss. So some of them will just get passed on to Savannah. I'll go through and pick out the ones that I want to read, and then the rest can go to Savannah and Neroli. So that's sort of where I'm at with that. So just from those plans alone, I already have over 100 books to read. And then I've got Kindle as well. I couldn't even tell you how many are on my Kindle that I haven't read yet. And a lot of them are short stories as well. So, like, to me, a short story is 200 pages or so. And then, yeah, about 200 pages or so. That is sort of what I call a short story. And then, like, a medium read is 300 to 500. And anything over 500, 550 and upwards is, you know, like a decent size book. And they usually take me a little bit longer because I do tend to just read in the morning and in the evening. I'm really trying to get into the habit of reading for 30 minutes in the morning after I get back from exercise, and then I try to get some more reading in when I go to bed at night. And I'm really enjoying that. Like, I've got in my reading journal, I've got a few challenges in there. So I have like the bingo challenge, and then I have an A to Z challenge as well. And then I will have like each month I'll have a calendar, and then I'll have a physical book and an audio book, Kindle book. So a digital format is basically what I have. So whether that's audio or Kindle, I will mark that off. And then basically, yeah, I just try to, did I do that right? Yes, I did. I just try to do an hour to finish the day off. It's a nice way to finish the day off with a bit of a story and all the rest of it. And it is actually quite surprising how much you can get read just doing that. I can usually polish off around 500 pages to 600 pages in a week. So that's not too bad at all. And then in some cases too, if I've picked up a Kindle book or a physical book and it comes free in the Audible, or I find it on Scribe, I will listen to it during the day and then read it in the morning and in the evening. And that's how I get through some of my books really quick, because that is another question that I've had as well. How am I getting through these books so quickly? It's because I can find them for free well, not for free necessarily on Scribe. Like, I pay a monthly fee for that, but sometimes they come up for free on Audible for the month. So then I can I'll bring that into my TBR, and basically sometimes you can find them free on YouTube as well. Like, if they're an older book, they'll be on YouTube. So I usually do a little bit of a look around, especially if I've got right into the book, like into the physical book. I sort of don't want to put the story down, but I've got to work. And because I work alone and I'm sewing most of the day, I can just put it in and off I go. Yeah, so that's sort of what I'm doing. So as I said, I'm just going to be setting my goal for probably 80. I dare say I'm going to go over, because like, as I said, just with the audiobooks alone, I've got 50, and a lot of those are just pretty quick. Like, they only go for 5 or 7 hours, especially the Jessie Hunt, like the Virgin River one this year, the Jessie Hunt one. Like, the Jessie Hunt one I can do in like 4 hours, because I listen to them a little bit faster. And they're not a very lengthy book anyway. It makes it super easy to get through them. So as I said, I think I said on last week's Monday Stitch With Me, I listened to, on the way down to Brisbane, I listened to a Jessie Hunt one, and then I wasn't even out of Brisbane when I finished it. Like, I only had a few chapters to go when I got there. Because I didn't hit any traffic either, which made it a lot, that's why I got to Brisbane so it's a lot quicker than I normally would, because normally you hit traffic and you're stuck in traffic. I just have my earbud in, and I have my directions and everything going to my Bluetooth speaker, and so I don't have to touch my phone or anything like that. I have everything set up before I take off, and yeah, away I go. And I listen to my books, because everywhere I drive is 2 hours or 2 hours or more. So I often get a lot of reading in and all the rest of it. And of course, I've still got a lot of books that I got in the Business Chick box this year to read, so they'll be on my TBR for next year as well. I am going to, once I've done the 24 days and I've unwrapped all the books and all the rest of it, I'm going to set out all the books that I've got. I'm going to go through and I'm going to pull out the ones that I definitely want to read. I'm going to cross-reference and all the rest of it, so I'm ready to go in the new year. I do know in January I will be trying to get through the Outlander series. January and February, they are quite lengthy books. They usually take me, even on an audiobook, they take a couple of days to read. So yeah, I'll be trying to knock those over because they're quite lengthy. And then I've got a couple of like fantasy box sets on there as well. So when I say I've only got one, I'm only counting those box sets as one book on there. So there might be 4 or 5 books in there. So yeah, I've also got those. So I'm probably closer to 65 audiobooks all up that I've got to get through. Bear with me for a moment. I'm just doing some counting. But yeah, so you can imagine that I probably will end up going over the 100, but I'm only going to set my goal for 80. Now this year I probably would have got, had I not had all of the upheaval in the middle of the year of Mia going back early and all that sort of stuff, I didn't read anything. I only read maybe 1 or 2 books for about 3 months. So imagine if I had have got my 13 or like November, I got 13 books read for the month of November. You know, and that was a combination of physical, audio, and Kindle books. And I want to do, just bear with me again, I'm just counting again. I do want to do the bingo again because in the group, a lot of people have been enjoying doing the bingo reading challenge, but I'm also going to do a stitching one as well, stitching bingo. So I'm going to select what books they are prior what I'm doing, and whatever book I'm doing, however many pages are in that, you need to pick something, like I'll put up, you know, pick a project that has the letter A in the title and stitch X amount of stitches on that. So that's sort of what I'm going to do for that. Because there's a lot, and for crafting and stuff like that, for quilting, pick a block, for instance, that starts with the letter and or a title for a quilt or something along those lines, and make that for that week. So I'm going to do a couple of crafting ones as well for everybody. Now just bear with me because this little guy is hidden in the moon and I just want to make sure that I've got him stitched correctly. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups this morning for some reason. Alright, yeah. I don't want to mess him up. Otherwise he'll look like a cat or something random like that. So that is the plan that I have for the BookTube for next year. Now, I have had a couple of questions as well, like why don't I do like a proper review. Now, I sort of didn't want to do that because I didn't want to spoil it in case some people wanted to read the book. You know, I didn't want to be spoilers and all the rest of it. So I am going to take some extensive notes and all the rest of it. And when I do because it'll go back to just being a Monday where I talk about books and stuff like that in the new year. And when I go back to that on the Monday, I will actually probably do a couple of book reviews. Like really they are quasi book reviews. I just don't give any spoilers away. And I sort of really do want to continue doing that because I believe that some people will want to read those books and they don't want the story given away. I'm still going to be reading some of the TV series as well before I continue watching those series, and I'm going to endeavour to get through Harry Potter as well. Now I have the physical books here, so I will do a combination of physical and audio with those. Alright, now let me just finish this off. I'm just going to do a pin stitch to finish this off over here, and then I can just bucket that up, try that again, and then I can move on and cut that thread. Alright, come up there. So yeah, that's sort of what I want to do for next year. So that is sort of some of my plans for that. I'm not going to really do any talking about books today, because I'll leave that for tomorrow, because I'm actually almost finished another book, so then it'll give me 2 to talk about tomorrow, or 1 tomorrow and then 1 on Tuesday. So because I don't think I'm going to get another book finished between now and then, but then again, and it is Sunday and I do my housework and all the rest of it, so I might be able to get another one in of my series that I've got going on Audible and Scribe. All right, I'm going to get better at taking notes. I do know that much. Oops, sorry about that. Just because a lot of the time I get on here and then I've forgotten what I've read, because I've read that many, and then I've just got to try and remember. And I am getting better at taking notes after each book that I read. So, just created a burr on the back. So that will make it easier and a little less confusing as well. And I'm thinking that like I film the Stitch With Me on a Monday, and then I have my Flosstube on the Friday, and I do my sewing tutorial on a Wednesday. So I've got 3 videos going up in a week, and I also am starting back up with diamond painting as well on Thursdays, and so that leaves me with Tuesday open. And I'm thinking on those days I'm actually going to do like patchwork blocks and stuff like that. I'll see how I go for time and all that sort of stuff. I mean, the great thing about those, I can pre-record those and I can do batch filming with them. But yeah, I'm thinking, because I'm getting right back into patchworking again, so I'm thinking that I'm going to add that in and do a couple of row by rows next year as well. That was very popular this year. Everybody that has done it has really enjoyed it. I'm thinking that I'm going to do probably 2, I reckon I'll end up doing for the year. I really don't need another quilt like a hole in the head, but so what I figured I was going to do is, yes, I'm going to do the row by row, but instead of me doing the 6 blocks or the 9 blocks or the 8 blocks or however big it is, I'm actually going to do mine just with 3 blocks. 1, it fits on camera. 2, when it comes to assembly, it makes it so much easier. Easier to assemble and also get, as I said, get on camera and all the rest of it. So I think that is where I'm going to go, because my filming area is not that big, and as you've seen, if you were part of the row by row this year, you've seen how cumbersome it was to try and film it and show you all the rows and all the rest of it. So I figured what I'd do is I would just do a smaller version of it. It's still the same thing, it's just half the size. So and I do need some table runners and stuff like that, so I might actually use some of them as table runners instead of into a full quilt. So you will still get the full quilt in the design and in the pattern and all that sort of stuff, so that's not going to change for you, and they're still going to be free and stuff like that. A few people have also, like, I've had a lot of emails in the last couple of months, and I've just sort of been holding off onto them before, because I knew I was going to be doing a lot of Stitch With Me's and all the rest of it, so I could talk about the channel. And that's sort of what I'm going to do each Sunday during the 24 days of Christmas. I'm just going to talk about some of the things that we've got coming up. So as I said, I'm going to do some patchwork blocks, whether they will be weekly, they may be fortnightly. I'm going to continue with my unboxings, although I'm scaling back on my shopping for the foreseeable future, just because I really don't need much. I'm going to try and stitch, well, I am going to stitch from stash. The only thing that I will be purchasing, I don't need any fabric because I'm working my whips this coming year, and the only thing I'm really going to need is probably floss if I run out of floss. Now And I know I can hear you all going, what, you're going to run out of floss? I'm talking about my gentle art threads. What are they? Gentle Art Sampler Threads and Weeks Dye Works and Color Classic Color Works. So I do have a few charts that use those. For the most part, I do have a lot of the floss and everything, but I may run out of one, you know, like I may not have calculated correctly and need an extra thing. So that is sort of what I'm talking about when I'm might need to buy floss. So for the most part, I'm not starting anything new apart from model stitching, which I use DMC or Cosmo for that. So, and I have all that here. But I will be working my whips, and I will need to get, I know for some of my heids I don't have all the floss, so I will have to pull them off the shelf because I only use DMC for those. But for everything else I use CXC, and I have 3 sets here, so I shouldn't need to buy any of that sort of stuff. I'm still organising all of my whips to take photos and all the rest of it, because I've got to take starting photos into my album. So I've put all my cover ones up into the groups, and as I mentioned last week, I am now part of the Daily 30, so I'm going to be using I think I'm going to use Red Dragon for my Daily 30 excuse me, so I can get a lot of that done in the coming year. I'm really looking forward to the challenge groups this year. As I said, I'm doing no new starts 2022, but I'm doing the option of work your whips. So that means that I'm working what I have here. And I have a lot of big charts, so I don't know if I'm going to get much finished, but I'm going to give it a red hot bash. My plan is to stitch every single day, and I've got my stitchy spot set up in the lounge room now, which is really good. My lounge room is really dark, and I tried to get a photo of it and I really can't, so I'm going to try and get some lights in there and just show you how I've got it set up, because I've got my new floor stand up in there. What else have I got planned for this coming year? Just basically focusing on the channel, focusing on getting my handmade area. Of course, I'll always have my quilting. I've got quite a number of things in the pipeline at the moment for the handmade side of things, and I'll probably discuss that a little bit further in the coming Sundays leading up to that. But other than that, I don't really have much else going on. Just I've really, in case you haven't noticed, enjoyed the reading this year, because I would have to say that my first and foremost hobby is reading, and reading as much as I can. And because I hadn't done a lot of that, having Mia here, having the kids young, like I still got a lot of reading in. And my husband has hassled me for years to get on audiobooks, but until I seen that video where I could speed them up, I never understood the whole thing about audiobooks, and now I just love them. And it's great because I get to visit all these wonderful worlds and all the rest of it, and just really enjoy myself kicking back with a book and reading. And I'm even more into it now that I found the book grocer as well. And you know, like I've saved a lot of money this year by getting those books, and it's taken, and for the coming year it's also taken the whole oh, I was supposed to not go all the way up then. See, too busy talking and not enough paying attention. I was supposed to leave a gap back down here. Yeah, so basically I've got to come down 4, 3. I put 2 extra stitches in that I wasn't supposed to put in. The whole getting the boxes, I don't even have to worry about what sort of book I need to purchase or what to read next or anything like that. I think I've done pretty well of getting the genres that I like. You know, like the crime ones and the fiction and all the, like the crime fiction and whatnot. So I like those sort of books, and I like a good romance book as well, so I'm pretty happy that I've got those. And then I've just got general fiction as well, and the young adult and all the rest of it, so I don't really have to worry about picking something out. All right, now let me just see where I'm at. Did I cross off one too early? No, that's that one there. Oh, I was supposed to go up there. It's all right, don't worry about me. I looked at the wrong one. All right, so yeah, so I'm liking the fact that I don't have to worry about picking my books out. I've just got my bookshelf there. I can go and, mind you, it's not just one bookshelf. It's almost like 4 bookshelves. By the time I'm finished. Oh dearie me. But these books are so cheap. Like, it's $100 for the box and you get 17 to 18 books. Like, you can't go wrong. I can't even buy them that cheap from a shop. Like, it's great. I just love it. I don't even, I mean, it'd have to be a pretty awesome book for me to buy it from Big W or a bookstore. So yeah, but anyway, I looked at the wrong one. I was looking at the next row when I was doing this. But yeah, I'm super excited about what we're going to be doing next year, and hopefully you will be too. I'm going to be still continuing on with my sewing tutorials. As I said, I'll be doing the patchwork ones. I've got a few series in the sewing tutorials and all the rest of it we're going to be looking at, and now I don't know exactly when they're timed down for, because I've just written them in a book at the moment, and then I just go through that book and each page. So basically I've got a few series, as I said, series put down. One is actually a zero waste, so we're going to be looking at different things we can use instead of other things around the house and all the rest of it. So a little bit of a inside peek at that, little spoiler for you. So I'm looking forward to doing that. As I said, I have been busily writing down things that I want to bring to the channel and all the rest of it, and I've also taken on board some of the things that you have suggested as well when I asked. One of them was journaling. Now, I don't know about the journaling side of things. I don't think I'm really good at that, but I will. A few people have asked me to have a look. Now, I do have a couple of journals planned. So one is my cross stitch finishes and all the rest of it. I have not started that yet. And I have been collecting stuff for like journaling and whatnot in the last couple of months. I've been purchasing. You haven't seen any of that stuff. I've just unwrapped it and put it away because there was a lot of it. But I think that it may be something that I will look at. I'm not too sure how the format will go, whether it's just going to be a flick through on different things that I do. I'm not the best drawer either, so a lot of my stuff will be done with stamping and all that sort of stuff, and I'm sort of teaching myself to do florals and stuff like that. So it might be just something that we do on a Saturday where I just, not necessarily a plan with me, but maybe something that we just, every now and again when the mood strikes me, I'll sit down and bust out all my journaling stuff and we'll sit down and do it. Like I do want to do a journal where I'm doing my finishes and stuff like that, so that's probably the one that I'll start with. You know, like it'll just have the information in there, like when I started it, when I finished it, how I'm finishing it, and just take some photos and just have like a little bit of a photo journal and why I did that chart and all, and what appealed to me and all that sort of stuff, just to keep a record of my cross stitching. But that is it for me for this Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me again, and I will see you again tomorrow. I will be talking about books tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you all. Don't don't forget, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Tell me where you're watching from and what you were stitching on while I was chit-chatting. And I will see you all again tomorrow. So have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.